So, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, students. Here in our brief session, in today's session, I'm going to teach you how to implement a three-phase diode bridge rectifier using MATLAB. Okay, and we will also see how to plot a particular graph appropriately, and then how to export it to the Word file so that you can use it for your report. Okay, there are two aspects. One will be implementation of three-phase bridge rectifier, and the second will be exporting those results in your document. Okay, so let us see. First thing that you need to do with MATLAB is to type Simulink if you wish to perform the simulation using graphical user interface. You should type Simulink, press enter. Okay, so it will immediately open this type of window. If you have older version of MATLAB, let us say 2013 or 2014, then it will directly open the Simulink library browser. So you don't need to go with this. Okay, so let us start with a blank model. So in case of, remember, in case of older versions, you will directly see this kind of library browser, right? This kind of library version browser will be there in older versions. Yeah. So I can adjust, right? First thing, you save your file. For example, I will give the name PG session 26102020, right? This is the file name. As I said, you should not put space or any other special character in the file name. Underscore is allowed. Fine. It is more like a programming part. Right. Now, today we would like to develop a three-phase bridge rectifier. Now, how many of you have been to three-phase bridge rectifier? Please let me know. Or other way, how many of you do not know what is three-phase bridge rectifier? Okay, so Derek says he doesn't know. Is there anybody who feels that they do not know three-phase bridge rectifier? Okay, fine. So let me say he knows, fine. Right. Now, let me show you just a minute. Three-phase bridge rectifier. Yeah. And I will consider the uncontrolled part. Okay. And let me put it in one note. I think you can see my screen, right? So in a three-phase bridge rectifier, we have three-phase supply. Now, Derek, are you aware of three-phase supply? Three-phase, three-wire, 415 volt. 50 hertz if you are in Europe and India. If you are in US, then it will be 220 volt, 60 hertz. Right? Great. So, uh, yeah. So, line to line, this is line to line. Okay. And this is also line to line. The meaning of line to line means you are going to measure the voltage between these two terminals. That means you are putting the voltmeter between these two terminals. That is called line to line voltage for those who are not quite aware of it. Okay. So in India and certain European countries, you have 415 volt or 400 volt 50 hertz supply, three phase, and in US it is 220 volt 60 hertz, which means that it is 230 volt phase to neutral. Okay, the meaning of 415 means 240. Okay, so in Europe and India, it is going to be 240 volt phase to neutral voltage, or you can say 415 50 hertz line to line, right? Similarly, in US, it's going to be 120 volt phase to neutral. Okay, there is a very simple relationship. You simply put 220 divided by square root of 3, right? So it's going to be 127 volt. So I will write 127 or 125, right? Similarly, in India, 415 divided by square root of 3. So that's why it is 240. Okay, 239.6 means 240. Here you can see the value, right? So just a minute, I got a call. Okay, so here in a three-phase, three-wire based full bridge rectifier, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diodes, and each diode there is a pair, right? And there will be one diode on the upper side of the point. So one diode will be in this direction and second diode will be in this direction. Okay. Similarly here, if you, this is the starting point, one diode is here, another diode is here. Okay. In fact, I put or draw this one also as, because this arrow denotes the direction in which it conducts. Okay. And similarly, if this is the third subphase, then one diode is here, one diode is here. So basically the direction of this direction of diode will ensure that the current is flowing from, let us say, A to D1 to load. Through the load, it will come back through D4, because as you know, the diode conducts only from anode to cathode, right? And once one diode of this paired conduct, one diode of the upper combination conduct, then remaining two diodes will be not conducting, or they will be reverse biased. And similarly, if here D4 conducts, D2 and D6 will be reverse biased. We will talk about this later in detail, right? When we discuss about the theory of three-phase uncontrolled rectifier. Okay, but I just assumed that many of you might have come across this three-phase bridge rectifier in theory in undergraduate program. So I'm discussing it now. Fine. So this is a three-phase bridge rectifier, right? And if I draw the three-phase supply, it will be like this. So I can put it here. Right? So what happens? We have A phase supply, B phase supply, and C phase supply. Right? So then for 60 degree, you can say one pair of diode will conduct, another pair of diode will conduct for another 60 degree, right? And this way, 6 pairs will be conducting from here. For example, maybe this D1 and D4 are conducting, right? After that, let us say D3 and D6 are conducting. After that, D5 and D2 will be conducting. So that way, one pair, that means one diode from the upper part and one diode from the lower part, they will be conducting here. Fine. So this way, we will get some output of the three-phase bridge rectifier. Fine. Do you have any query or any confusion related to this? We will do some analytical study related to this later on. Okay. Okay. Now, today we are supposed to implement this three-phase bridge rectifier, because these three-phase bridge rectifiers are widely used in AC to DC conversion, particularly at high power. Okay. For example, if you are dealing with 5 kilowatt charger which needs AC to DC conversion, then for greater than 5 kilowatt, single phase is not advisable. Single phase, I mean to say 240 volt, 50 hertz single phase supply, which is commonly used in residential application, that means at our home. That supply is not applicable here. So we need to use a three-phase AC to DC converter like this, right? And that's why we are discussing it now. So what I need to do, I need to implement this three-phase fully controlled rectifier. Okay, you need to note one thing here. A phase or R phase, you can say, there are three phases, R by B, sometimes also known as A, B, C for sake of convenience. Okay, so we often call them A, B, C, okay, in our nomenclature. So A and then B. So B is actually delayed by A by 120 degree. Remember, this is 120 degree. Okay. Similarly, C phase is delayed by 240 degree. And if you see the relationship between C phase and A phase, once again A phase is actually lagging C phase by 120 degree. Okay. So basically in phasor form, they are like this: A phase, B phase, C phase. So this is A, this is B, and this is C. And all of them are 120 degree apart, right? So the phase difference is 120 degree, and we need to set it. Okay. So let us say in Simscap, okay, now I want to implement this, fine. So as I said, you need to go to Simulink library browser. In Simulink library browser, select Simscap. In Simscap, select Sim Power System, that is this one. In Sim Power System, go to Specialized Technology, that is this one. In Specialized Technology, we start with the fundamental blocks. Okay. Now at this level, we want to implement everything on our own so that you can have a clear idea. So I will bring one AC voltage source. Sorry. I need to bring one AC voltage source, right? Here. First, I will set the parameter. Now, the peak amplitude of this is, if I assume 240 volt, then peak is given by 240 into square root 2, right? Because 240 is RMS. So for peak, I need to multiply it with root 2. So I get 339.4, right? So I will substitute that value, 339.4. Frequency is going to be 50 hertz because 50 hertz is the supply, standard supply in this country. And sample time, as I said, you can set it to 100e minus 6. Fine. So this is one phase. Then I can copy this. This is another phase. Now the B phase has same magnitudes, but the phase is minus 120 degree. Okay. Similarly, C phase has minus 240 degree, or you can say plus 120. Both are same mathematically. Fine. So mathematically, both are same, and they are two. Either you write minus 240 or you write 1 plus 1 plus 120. You can join them here, no problem. So this makes a three-phase supply. Fine. Any confusion up to this point? Fine. Now the next step is to develop the rectifier using diode bridge rectifier. So you have a diode. As I said, I will open it, set the forward voltage to 2 volt. If it is a power diode, remember, if it's a power diode, the forward voltage will be, practical value will be 2 volt. And you can remove the measurement port. Okay. So show measurement port will be unselected. So you unselect this. Set this number to 1000 and snubber capacitor to 0.1 E minus 6. This is just tentative value based on my experience. Okay. At this moment, we are not going to do some specific calculation related to snubber, but this is just a tentative value to avoid oscillations in the simulation. Right. Now, D1, this is D1. Akash, it is not compulsory to remove the measurement port, but if you select a measurement port, that means all the signals will be available at this point. Now those signals will add to additional variables, okay? And what will happen, these additional variables may slow down your simulation. So this is the reason normally we do not select this measurement port, okay, fearing that it might slow down our simulation. Now this is D1. I should say it's D4. Fine. Why, that we will study later, but I'm going to name it D4. Then here I have D3. Here it's going to be D5. So the naming is like this: D1, D3, D5. Then just below this we have a D2. Then there is a D4. And here we have D6. And I'm going to connect all of them. This makes one diode bridge rectifier, a three-phase rectifier. Okay, save it from time to time. After that, we are going to connect it here. But before I connect it there, I want to have some voltage and current measurement. Don't forget it. So I need to bring a current measurement block first. This is A phase. So I have connected one ammeter in A phase. Okay. And then I can assume that the similar current will flow in B phase and C phase. Right. Then connect B phase to second terminal and C phase to third terminal. Okay. So this is how we connect it. After that, we need to connect the output of the rectifier to resistive load first. Okay. We will first connect it to resistive load. So for resistive load, I need to go to elements. In elements, select series RLC branch. Bring the series RLC branch here. Okay. And make it R. And then I will say 100. Right? Rotate it. Fine. And now the current measurement block is connected once again in series. Connect it like this. Just a minute. Okay. So we have connected ammeter in series with the load, and then go to measurement and measure the voltage. Right? One voltage is measured across the load on the output side. Remember, voltmeter is always connected in parallel. Right? And another voltmeter is connected here to measure line to line voltage. Right? And now I need an oscilloscope to measure my signals. So I go to commonly used blocks. Okay. Go to commonly used blocks, bring a scope here. And first input of the scope is connected to voltage and second is connected to current. Similarly, here also on the input side, first we need to connect it to voltage and then we connect it to current. Yes. No, this is fine. Ahmed, current measurement, we are measuring from plus to minus. Okay. So the direction of current will be from plus to minus because the resistor is acting as a load. So we always measure from source to the load. Okay. Do you want to see? See. Right? Now after this, as I said in my last session, you need to add one power GUI block. So power GUI block will be here. Right? The next step is to configure parameters of simulation. So go to simulation, model configuration parameters, select it. It will open a window like this. You set the step time to 1 and solver to ODE23 TB. Okay. If you want to simulate in continuous time, okay, then you need to select ODE23 TB. So select apply and OK. So now your simulation is ready to run. Now, do you have any confusion related to any of the point that we have discussed so far? Just have a look at the diagram and let me know if you have any confusion. So is it clear? Well, let me tell you, this is A phase, this is B phase, and this is C phase. Okay. Now we just want to measure the voltage between A phase and B phase. That will make VAB line to line voltage. And then we measure the line current of A phase. Okay. So your question is why we did not connect any measurement equipment to the third source is that is because we just want to measure line to line voltage from between A and B and measure the line current of A phase only. Okay. If you want to display all three phase voltages, then you can certainly go for voltage here, and one voltage here. Okay. And in such cases, what we do, we go to measurement block, bring a multimeter, double click on multimeter. You have U source A, U source B, and U source C. That indicates A phase, B phase, and C phase, right? And then we can connect it to one scope. Okay. So this is another block called multimeter. In the multimeter, what happens that let us say I want to measure the voltage across this, which is not available actually. I want to measure the voltage of source here, or I want to measure the voltage or current of this. Normally I set it to none, but you can directly measure the voltage or current from that respective block using this multimeter. Okay. We will come to that part later on. Okay. At present, we don't need to connect the multimeter to everywhere. Simply, you can use it. That's what I wanted to say. But otherwise, we normally connect it like this. Now your simulation diagram is ready to run, and I will run it. I click on the run button. So if you look at this, it has automatically plotted, but rather I'm more interested in this. Just a minute. I think something has happened. 100. Oh, sorry. It should have been 100 E minus 6. So this happens if you make a single mistake. It will turn out to be a disaster for your simulation. Right? Now I run it. So it simply displays three phase voltages. So first look at the voltage and current. Now see, if I try to plot everything in the same display, then probably I won't be able to see another graph. So that's why what we do, we click on this button for configuration properties, go to configuration properties, layout, and this feature is applicable in higher version of MATLAB, whereas in older versions you have directly separate windows available, right? So you need not worry. If you have 13 or 14, it will work fine. I will come to this part later on, but let us have a look at the output voltage and current. Once again, you see that the voltage is here, the current is here. It is very difficult to analyze both of them simultaneously. So what I will do, go to configuration properties, layout, yes, right? And now you zoom it. Now still, I have done the simulation for 1 second, okay, and because the signal is having 50 Hertz, so I'm not able to clearly see the change in the waveform. So what I will do, I will zoom the waveform. Now it is a little bit visible. As I said, I have used 100 ohm resistor. So whatever is the voltage, the same will be divided by 100. Okay. Now what was the uh, line to line voltage? Can you tell me? What was the line to line voltage? In our case, we have taken 415 line to line, right? So if you take 415 line to line, so then according to the formula of three-phase bridge rectifier, you have 415 into 1.35 approximately. So that is average 560 volt. Okay. So you are going to have average 560 volt in the output. And that's what you see here. Sorry, not here, here. This is the average. Fine. So this is the output voltage. Now for 50 hertz, for 50 hertz, what is the time period of one fundamental cycle? Please submit your response in the chat section. For 50 hertz fundamental waveform, what is the time period? I hope you understand my question. The frequency of supply is 50 hertz. What will be time period of the supply? So it's very simple. 1/50, that is 0.02, or you can say 20 millisecond. Okay. So for 50 hertz, the time period is 20 millisecond. So let us have a zoom look at 20 millisecond. 0.52 to 0.54 is 20 millisecond. Okay. So let us have a look at 20 millisecond time period. How many pulses do you see in the output? For one fundamental cycle, how many pulses do you see here? One fundamental means 20 millisecond. From 0.52 to 0.54, your 0.52 starts at this point. Your 0.52 starts at this point. So I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This point at 0.54, it ends. So I have 6 pulses. No, Akash, it is 7. No, Akash, it's not 7, it is 6. Okay. So there are 6 such cycles in one fundamental period, right? And that is the reason we call it what? A 6-pulse rectifier. So a 3-phase bridge rectifier is also known as 6-pulse rectifier. Is this clear? So this is the output voltage and current without any kind of filter. Fine. Without any kind of filter. Fine. Now, if I make it RL, why I need to have RL? Because the inductor will filter out the current ripple. Okay, the property of the inductor is to filter out the current ripple. So I have added RL. The inductance value is 100 millihenry. So I have assumed a large enough inductor, which is equivalent to the armature inductance of a motor. Okay. So this is the inductor. I say okay, save it, and then you try to run it again. Now let's have a look. So if you look at the waveform, once again, I will focus on one fundamental cycle. So 0.4 to 0.42. Now here, the voltage is having ripples, but the current ripples are filtered out. So the current is much smoother than the output voltage, right? So this is the output voltage and current with 3-phase bridge rectifier and RL load. We normally study this at undergraduate level in electrical engineering, right? Now, I also need to have a look at the input side, because see what happens. This ABC is actually coming from a transformer or from a supply, right? This ABC is basically a distribution transformer, okay? So from this distribution transformer, the supply is connected to a 3-phase bridge rectifier, and then the output is converted into DC. Fine. But what happens to the input side if you connect a bridge rectifier for charging application everywhere? For example, at every corner of your city or of your town, you see one charging station, okay? And there you are using 3-phase uncontrolled rectifier, because chargers are normally rated in 10 kilowatt or 20 kilowatt or 50 kilowatt for commercial cases, level 2 and level 3. So you simply put a charger at every corner of your town, and then suddenly there are issues in your system. I'm talking about a distribution system, okay? Then you realize that there is something wrong with this rectifier. What is wrong? Let us see. So now I will once again look at the few fundamental cycles. What do you see here? The first one, the upper trace is for source voltage, but the lower trace is for source current. Is this fine? So the source voltage is a purely sinusoidal one, right? But something has happened to the current. So the current that I see is not sinusoidal at all. Now, if your transformer or your cable is supplying this type of current, then it will definitely impact the overall system, right? So that is the purpose of our study, that you cannot use anything in the system without knowing its implication. So this is what happens when you connect a three-phase bridge rectifier with AC to DC converter. Now you might think that after this I can put one uh, a DC to DC converter and charge the battery directly. Okay. What is worse, if this is R, practically for charger that you are going to employ, this is going to be a capacitive filter. Okay. So this is going to be a capacitive filter which will be connected in parallel with the resistor for filtering purpose. Okay. This is what we did in the last session also. We put a capacitor filter after the rectifier. And then I run this again. This is the practical case. Okay. And look at the practical case. My God. It doesn't seem like a proper current at all. Right? So this is what happens when you connect a three-phase bridge rectifier and you convert AC into DC. Okay. We call it three-phase uncontrolled rectifier feeding R load. Right? I can bring this entire simulation here and put this title here. Okay. Do you have any confusion related to this? Do you have any confusion related to this? Yes, let me. Ask me your question. Okay. Are you talking about output current or input current? This is the output current. Fine. So if I run this, okay, let us take two questions one by one. There is one question, first question for Lemmy is the output current. It's about output current. Okay. And the second question from Ahmed is about the source current, which is not sinusoidal, right? So I will come to 2 points one by one. This is the output voltage and current for one cycle, one fundamental cycle. Now, if you see here, then as you can see, for 60 degree, this is 120, but it is actually 60 degree. For 60 degree, just a minute, the one line to line section is conducting. For example, this is during this section, AB is conducting, then BC is conducting, then CA is conducting, right? Then CB is conducting. So this way, line to line sections are conducting. So that way we make it 6 pairs. Okay, AB, BC, it's like this. First AB is conducting, then AC is conducting, then BC is conducting, then BA is conducting, then CA is conducting, and CB is conducting, and then AB conducts. Okay. Now during this, A and B, when A and B are conducting, we have 1 and 6. So now we have 6 and 1. During this, we have 1 and 2. During this, we have 2 and 3. During this, 3 and 4. During this, 4 and 5. 5 and 6. 6 and 1. So this way, diode pairs conduct. Okay. I can put them here also. Sorry. Right. So okay. So I will write 12 points. Okay. AB, then BC, AC, sorry, AC, BC, right? BA, CA, CB, AB. And here 6 and 1 will conduct, 1 and 2 will conduct, 2 and 3 will conduct, 3 and 4 will conduct, 4 and 5 will conduct, 5 and 6, 6 and 1. Okay. Fine. So 6 and 1 means 1 and 6. These two will conduct. 1 and 2 means D1 and D2. These two will conduct. Okay. 2 and 3 means 3 and 2. These two will conduct. So here this is B, this is for C. Okay. So respective diode of that phase conducts. 2 and 3, then 3 and 4. So this is BA, BA, BA. Okay. Then CA, that is 4, 5. So 5, 4, 5, 4, C, A. Then 5, 6. So C, B, C, B, C, B, and 6, 1. 6, 1. So A, B, A, B, A, B. So this way, each one, remember, each one conducts for 60 degree. Okay. So this one, each pair conducts 60 degrees. And there are 6 such pairs, as you can verify. Right? So that's why it makes 360 degree. Okay. Now, let me, did I address your concern or your query? Okay. So basically, as I said, in the output, you will see 6 humps for 6 different combinations, right? So your voltage and current will look like this. So output voltage has frequency 6 times that of the fundamental. Okay. And now I'm coming to the question of Ahmed. So Ahmed asked me that why this current is not sinusoidal. This is the current, right? Now, what can I do? I will try to multiplex this. If you have studied about multiplexer, there is a signal called, there is a block called multiplexer. Now multiplexer, actually the task of multiplexer is what? To multiplex more than one input signal. Okay, that is the task of multiplexer. So here I am going to multiplex 2 signals. One is from source current, one is from load current. Okay, and then I will see the relationship between the source current and the load current. I will run it again. Every time you make a change, you need to run. See. So what happens? What do you see here? Just a minute. So for 60 plus 60, 120 degree, one phase is conducting. Now, how did I get this idea? If you look at this, A phase is conducting for 60 degree and then for 60 degree. Next time, during this 60 degree, only B and C are conducting. A phase is not in the picture. Okay. Once again, A phase comes into the picture during next 60 degree plus 60 degree. So that means I can say that one phase conducts for 120 degree only. Okay. Is it fine? One phase conducts for 120 degree. Then it remains off for 60 degree. Once again, it conducts for 120 degree and then it remains off for 60 degree. Fine. Now, when one is conducting, okay, whenever one is conducting, the current will flow from ammeter positive to ammeter negative from D1 to the load. And when 4 is conducting, the current will come from load to D4 to negative to the positive. That means current will seem to be negative when D4 is conducting. Okay. When D1 is conducting, current is positive. When D4 is conducting, current is negative. So I see the same thing here. So during when 1 and 2 are conducting, current is positive. And when when 1 is conducting, current is positive. When 4 is conducting, the current is negative. So that's why I see this kind of current, this type of current. This is actually the inherent nature of the power electronic device or power electronic converter, remember. Because the device which we are using, the device itself is non-linear. It exhibits a non-linear characteristics. Okay. So naturally, the output will also be a non-linear one. Now, did I address your concern, Ahmed? Okay, am I audible to everyone? Because my connection was lost. So did I address your query, Ahmed? See, this is a purely technical stuff, and we will definitely discuss the technical aspect in theory part. Okay, so no need to worry. Okay, don't worry, Ahmed. We will analyze this during our theory sessions also. Okay, what I wanted to convey here is that you can develop a three-phase bridge rectifier and verify the output as well as verify the input of your converter. Right? So here our purpose is to implement the things, okay, and then analyze it accordingly. Right? Okay, any other question? Okay, so thank you for attending. I will discuss the uh, exporting the results, how to export your results later on. Okay, because we are running out of time. We are already 7 minutes past. So I will end the session here and we will see the exporting the result part in the next session. So thank you for attending. Okay, I will share this video. So no need to worry. You can do it once again on your own. And if you face any difficulty, please feel free to ask.